It's E-commerce Minute, your weekly dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, John Suter, Bart Mraz, and Brittany Blackman. The E-commerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com.
It's the E-commerce Minute, episode 784.
These are top stories in e-commerce, tech, and retail for the week of February 15th, 2021. TikTok social commerce. TikTok is launching new features to double down on its social commerce efforts in the U.S. The Chinese-owned video sharing social networking service has briefed advertisers on a number of new features for 2021, like tools that let its most popular users share links to products and automatically earn commission on any sales. TikTok is also aiming to roll out the ability for brands to showcase catalogs of the products on the platform. The app is also said to be rolling out live stream shopping, a mobile phone version of televised shopping channels where users can buy goods with a few taps after seeing them showcased by TikTok stars. This follows testing of the live shopping feature with Walmart, which was announced late last year. Since they've also announced an ongoing partnership with Shopify, this puts the video sharing platform in social commerce competition with Facebook and Instagram. Instagram recently rolled out their answer to TikTok's secret sauce, a video sharing option called Reels. Some advertisers have been wary about TikTok, suggesting that its current advertising system remains a work in progress. TikTok may already have an excellent roadmap for adding social commerce features to its platform based on the progress it's made with Douyin, ByteDance's short video platform in China. That said, China is a very different market than the United States, and it's not guaranteed that everything that works in China will work in the US. Still, human nature doesn't change based on geography, so it should be able to influence similar behaviors with similar products. There also could be issues surrounding data privacy concerns and the fact that the former president lobbied to ban the app a number of times. TikTok in social commerce. Who didn't see this coming? But,
Surprise!
Surprise. No surprise, no surprise.
Because it's like there's already so much advertising on TikTok without it being official advertising. Anyway. Yeah,
I think the fact that it's that there is now social commerce is not even a novelty thing anymore. It's almost like a given that you should, if you're running any type of social platform, you have to have some kind of commerce built in. Because as Brittany just said, there are so many ads on there. And what happens is you get that oversaturation and then people get tired of it. Whereas if you see your favorite TikTok star shilling something, and obviously, TikTok will get a cut of whatever that is. I would rather, as a consumer of this type of entertainment, I would rather see that type of commerce rather than an ad every 3 TikToks, which is where it's heading.
Right. Yeah. If you look at Instagram too, that app is running itself into the ground because of how much they focused on influencers and zero other types of content creators and just advertisements and shilling product. And now we can't even see our friends post on our timeline and everyone hates Instagram. So that's definitely not what TikTok wants to do.
Instagram is giving me a sad lately. I used to really enjoy being on there. And I, as a creator, and I put that in air quotes because I go through these phases where I'm posting all my drawings every day, and then you don't hear from me for 3 months. So I'm very inconsistent when it comes to that. But I used to be able to go, I put a drawing up, a nice drawing that I do, and I would get, you'd see the likes come in, and then then it trails off after a day or so, and then everyone just ignores you. Now I put something on there, and it's like nothing. It's like I don't get that like buzz anymore. It's like, and then I go and look, and as a consumer of it again, I'm seeing things that are just like it's the same thing. It's and I don't need another fancy wallet, and I don't need that fast motion video of a guy cooking something. It's this. It's all those fast motion drop ship merchants. It's just really wears you down.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram made a big, huge mistake, and that's just the Facebook effect, right? They're just trying to push as many ads as they can, but Instagram being late to the game with shopping, being late to it was a good photography app for a long time, and they just destroyed it completely. Yeah. It's just useless. And TikTok coming in and having the algorithm that they have, it's so focused and on you that you just get into depths of things, and it's great. It works really well.
It really is. And last year we heard all the cries of privacy concerns. So I kind of stayed off of it for a while. but again, looking at Instagram and, being a visual person, I like that kind of stuff. And I was like, and then you started sending me clips and other people were sending me clips. And now it's like, I go on there and I know that I am going to be A, entertained, or B, educated, because the types of TikToks that I'm being served in my brain hole are cooking and things about like how to do marketing and social media, and then like general humor stuff, but they know what I like. And being an insomniac, 3 a.m. is my TikTok zone, man. It's like,
and there's people you're like follow, like you're like, I'm glad they're putting stuff out all the time, right?
Yeah,
like
like
especially if, like the cooking stuff.
the
Like
cooking stuff is
the-
like, here's an example of how viral this stuff is. And then we'll get to some other TikTok stats. That recipe that was going around, the cherry tomato and feta cheese pasta.
Yeah.
People are going like, we can't find feta cheese anywhere. Everyone is buying up all the feta cheese because they want to cook this dish, because then it became popular. And then every other TikTok cook was cooking it. And now it's like, you've heard of that famous TikTok, you've heard of the famous feta cheese dish. Well, I'm going to cook my version of it now.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
And there's the guy, I don't know, John, you follow him too. A guy named Sad Pappy. That guy is so talented. It's absolutely insane.
Which guy is that?
Sad Pappy.
Oh my God, I
It's
love him.
The man is so talented. And I don't know if you follow his other channel now. He partnered up with a kitchen that was just down. They just redid it into a cooking type of kitchen. And they cook nonstop. And he's so talented. Like he breaks it down into like little pieces. It's amazing.
I love it.
For the ladies, he's pretty good looking.
that tattooed up, just a thing. And he's a nice guy. Like he really comes off really nice,
He's cool.
Yeah, I don't know this Sad Pappy. Where have I been?
Okay. My friend. Yeah, we're gonna have you addicted to this.
I know the guy that leans into the camera and goes, I love you. He's my favorite.
I love that guy too.
Oh yeah,
I love you. Yeah. All right, we're on a tangent here, so let's pull out a little TikTok stats. TikTok's biggest pull is its vast and partly untapped audience of young users. The company says that 40% of people on TikTok do not have a Facebook account. I think that is huge. And it's 63% are not on Twitter. So you're really looking at a different audience type here that skews younger, that did not grow up with Facebook, and think of Facebook and probably Twitter as the place for the olds. I think that is something that you definitely need to recognize, definitely as a marketer, that it is a completely different audience than Facebook and Instagram. It's really remarkable. And another stat about social commerce. Social commerce will grow 35% in 2021, but will still represent only 4.3% of the overall e-commerce market, according to a new report from eMarketer. The report added that about 90 million users would buy through social commerce this year, resulting in sales of around 37 billion with a B. And finally, social commerce is huge in China, where users will buy approximately $363 billion worth of goods and services through social platforms this year. That's about 13% of all Chinese e-commerce, and they are huge into the live streaming. I saw an article, they're doing another one of those live streaming marathons, and they're saying like millions of people are just on there with nothing to do, just buying stuff, man. It's crazy.
That's right.
All right, we're going to do the next story. Shopify adds Shop Pay to Facebook and Instagram. Shopify is integrating Shop Pay into Instagram and Facebook, allowing consumers to pay Shopify merchants using Shop Pay checkout. This is the first time Shop Pay will be made available outside of Shopify's own platform, which represents a significant expansion for the e-commerce platform's payments technology. Shop Pay's expedited checkout automatically fills in consumers' details and allows them to pay without leaving Facebook or Instagram. Users will also be able to track orders after purchase and see carbon emissions offsets of the purchases, among other things. Shopify said that prior to this launch, Facebook's platform had been one of Shopify's most popular sales and marketing channels for merchants. At the beginning of the pandemic last spring, marketing on Facebook and Instagram via Shopify's channel integration saw a 36% growth in monthly active users, and that trend continues to rise. The collaboration between Shopify, Instagram, and Facebook comes as brands increasingly tap into shoppable content to drive sales. The Interactive Advertising Bureau estimated that 40% of marketers would use shoppable video ads in 2020, an increase from 33% in 2019 and 25% in 2018. The demand for social shopping has pushed platforms to amp up their own capabilities. Last year, Instagram expanded its in-app shopping features after the initial launch in 2019, and in June, Sephora made its Instagram checkout debut with more than 80 other beauty brands. And through the course of 2020, ShopPay helped buyers complete 137 million orders. And by the end of the year, ShopPay facilitated around $20 billion in cumulative GMV since its launch in 2017. And through its carbon offsetting features, this also represented 75,000 tons of carbon emissions. Today in the US, ShopPay is available as a payment option within Facebook Pay for all Shopify merchants using checkout on Instagram. The feature will roll out to Shopify merchants using checkout on Facebook in the US over the next coming weeks.
This kind of story gets me frustrated, John.
Why's that?
Because we've been talking about Facebook and Instagram doing like payments and video and stuff like that for 7 years now.
7 years now.
7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, how long are you going to wait for this? Like, the opportunity, and like, why did you wait this long? Like,
and they wait so long, the story almost becomes a non-story. I'm reading this and I'm like, well,
you're reading it and I'm like, this is just, I can't. Right. I mean, in the middle of it, I was texting you because I don't understand. Like, sorry. It's frustrating. And I guess it's frustrating to me because it's like, we've been saying this about video and we wrote articles about this and we talked about this and we looked at this, and then there's other startups that started building other things, and you're like, it's already there. The network is there. It's built in. Just put a pay button on it. You could have done. I mean, people could have done it, and they just didn't. People just want this like new tech that it's like, guys, it's already there.
What do you think the reasons are for the slow rollout of this thing? Because us being in e-commerce, we don't look at it as a simple thing, but we look at it as almost an obvious thing. Do you think it's like other features have to come first, or was there some complexity that we're not aware of? Or
it's the same thing you just said in the last story. They concentrated on influencers because that was the hottest thing at that moment, and they thought that was the way to go, instead of going, hey, we can actually advertise and have sales built into it.
And lower hanging fruit, meaning you don't have to build a whole platform backend or connect something. You could just let the influencers make the money for you.
True.
Yeah, they still don't have a link in the description. You can't put a link in out. Like, I don't like. There's literally a full cottage industry on making links sites, you know, like it just makes no sense.
Yeah, Canva just added a feature. You can build Linktree pages within Canvas with the links built in. That's how bad it is. Or how good Canva is. No knock on Canva. Yeah,
I mean, concentration of what they want to do and how big it is, and I think they didn't realize, you know, if they've built this, say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a pandemic would hit. I mean, obviously they couldn't predict it. It would have been crazy. Like, people, you watch Instagram, and as much as we hate it and stuff like that, you still go, oh, I want to look at this product, you know, it still takes you there. So why not have it built in and siphon off some of that money? And they would have made more money than that. And, you know, I get ads, but nobody cares. Everybody scrolls through it.
Yeah.
Why not combine an ad with a shopping experience?
Yeah, absolutely. From a UX perspective, I really like ShopPay. I find myself trying not to be on, you know, buy things from Amazon all the time. And I find all these little DTC brands, and they're more times than not on Shopify. And I just love the checkout. I mean, they take my money as quickly as possible, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think ShopPay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, all the payment platforms like that are the best possible thing as soon as Amazon, you know, relinquished their one button buy.
Yeah, the one button checkout.
Even now, Amazon is two clicks. It's not even one click anymore.
Yeah. And I'll give you a good stat here. Shopify claims ShopPay on its own platform is 70% faster with a conversion rate that's 1.72 times higher than a typical checkout. It also includes order tracking and management, which to date have tracked more than 430 million orders across 450 miles. I guess that includes the carbon offsets. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, final story. The last Toys R Us stores close. Here's some sad news. Toys R Us has closed its 2 remaining locations in the United States. The iconic toy retailer made the decision as a result of the hardships brought on by the COVID pandemic and plans to shift resources towards opening new locations where there's better shopper traffic. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. They're closing the 2 that are there and might someday open new stores, is what I'm reading here. We did a story way back in episode 529 about the rebirth of Toys R Us, and now we're seeing it sunset once again. TRU Kids Brands, the new owner of the company, partner up with Beta, a startup that's both its own physical storefronts as well as software platform to help retailers shift towards a more experiential store style. So that was pretty exciting that they partnered up with Beta, because we like the stuff that they do. And we thought this would be, new type of toy store. But unfortunately, these efforts were lacking fruit, or as they like to say, fruitless. Market researchers NPD Group reported that toy sales in the U.S. surged last year by 16% to $25.1 billion as families turned to toys to keep kids occupied during the health crisis. But many consumers have steered clear of brick and mortar stores, and a substantial share of those toy sales have moved online. Mall-based retailers have obviously suffered. It will likely take some time for shoppers to adjust to heading back to malls, and one retail research firm is predicting there could be as many as 10,000 store closures announced by retailers in the U.S. this year, which would set a record. TRU Kids is still running Toys R Us website, which ultimately sends customers to Amazon to complete a purchase after marketing them the toys. It also continues to license the brand globally. Unfortunately, it seems this might be the final nail of a series of many nails in the coffin for the iconic brand.
There's a lot of nails.
I mean, the blunder of this is quite the most amusing.
All right,
it's just
so this shows you two things, in that the strength of a brand equity in terms of a strong brand. They were able to resurrect that thing. I'm guessing this is the third time in my life that we've seen Jeffrey pulled out of the grave and resurrected. But there's still strength, and it's still iconic. Still has that nostalgia factor. I remember the first time that Toys R Us said, we're giving up the ghost, we're closing all our locations. That was a huge deal. That was only 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Then the resurrection, everybody got really excited again, and then it just kind of didn't go anywhere. I'm sure COVID had something to do with it, and also the small footprints of stores. From what I recall, it was more of a showroom type thing for toys, not so much going and have every single toy and game available, but more of a small footprint, more of a bespoke selection of toys, which is not really what a toy store should be, especially Toys R Us.
Right. I mean, they made one giant mistake first.
Their website?
With their website, yeah. Long time ago, when they outsourced their website development to Amazon itself.
Yeah, they never controlled that. And then when they tried to do it, it's like trying to steer a big ship. Things were already going in the wrong direction. Retail wise, everything was just too late.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just like, forget Toys R Us. I think it's all big retailers, old school retailers, that have a problem, right? Toys R Us, Sears, Kmart, who else? Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, there's tons of these stores that just it screwed them up, and they just don't have the money to get themselves out of it, especially now when they have actual stores that people can't go into.
Yeah, that is a shame. There's a lot of iconic brands just falling to the wayside, as you said. And what's that company, that Tai Lopez company? They're scooping up these brands for pennies on the dollar and turning them into
I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, I don't remember what they just bought, but they started buying them up, and
they got Radio Shack too recently, I read.
Well, they're doing, if you think about it, they're doing what Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about forever, right? Building a marketing machine that you can now buy legacy brands and redo them and do them in proper ways, which is a smart thing to do. And Lopez is actually doing that. So it's going to be, I bet you there's going to be a lot of companies that are smart, that grew up on internet age, that go, hey, we can, in the, people who are in their 40s, 50s going, we grew up with this. We know how to build this stuff from scratch. Let's just buy the brand.
We understand the brand equity there.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll buy it for pennies on a dollar, buy it for $50 million as a brand, and then sell it 4 years later for $1 billion, or $2 billion.
I think that's what Tai Lopez and his group are doing. We should probably do a story on that, because that is one interesting cat. He's been dragged on YouTube for a couple of years for being just a pretentious, and now he's pretty much gone, well, look at me now. So interesting story. Speaking of the Toys R Us brand equity, TRU Kids says that outside the US, it operates Toys R Us and Babies R Us branded stores and e-commerce sites throughout licensing partners in more than 25 countries, with over 700 stores in Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. So as far as the US goes, Toys R Us is dead, but the brand thrives elsewhere in the world, which is a very interesting fact. I just don't understand why they can't keep it going in America, but whatever. All right, we're going to close this one up. We'll be back next Friday to break down the week's e-commerce, tech, and retail news. And don't forget our long-form podcast, In the Ring, available on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Until then, we'll see you on the internet next Friday. Wear a mask, stay safe. I'll see you guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.